Welcome to Royal Secret. Cinematic footage of Copenhagen's grand concert halls lit up under the Danish night sky, press cameras flashing, and red carpets rolled out. The royal anthem plays faintly in the background as suspenseful music builds. In the heart of Copenhagen, beneath the glittering chandeliers of Denmark's most hallowed halls, a king and queen walked side by side, not just as sovereigns of a proud nation, but as symbols of culture, continuity, and quiet revolution. Yes, it happened again, but this time, it wasn't just royal duty. It was an electrifying moment in Denmark's cultural calendar. King Frederik X and Queen Mary of Denmark appeared in dazzling fashion at the Kronprinsparrets Priser, the prestigious Crown Prince Couples Awards, turning heads, setting trends, and sending a powerful message of renewal, respect, and royal resilience. And tonight, you're getting the full story. Was this just another elegant night for Europe's most photogenic monarchs? Or was this a carefully orchestrated royal moment that signals a new age for the Danish crown? Stay with us, because what happened on that red carpet, what Queen Mary wore, and how the king looked at her, tells us far more than the royal press office wants you to know. A legacy reborn. The origin of the Kronprinsparrets Priser. The Kronprinsparrets Priser, or Crown Prince Couples Awards, were founded in 2004 by the then Crown Prince Frederik and Crown Princess Mary. The goal? To celebrate extraordinary achievements in Danish culture and social work. These awards were a statement, a declaration that the Danish crown wasn't just about ancient rituals and glittering tiaras, but about real impact, modern values, and nurturing talent. But tonight, for the very first time since ascending the throne in January 2024, King Frederik and Queen Mary returned to the awards not as heirs, but as reigning monarchs. King Frederik's first cultural statement as monarch. With Queen Margrethe II's historic abdication, King Frederik became Denmark's first male monarch in over 50 years. Many wondered, would he continue his cultural advocacy, or retreat into the quieter shadows of the constitutional throne? On this glittering Copenhagen night, we got our answer. As Frederik and Mary emerged from their royal limousine, crowds burst into applause. And there he was, the king, dressed in classic black tie, proudly escorting his queen. He stood tall, confident, but with that unmistakable quietness that has long defined him. Yet something had shifted. This was not the shy prince of 2 decades ago. This was a king on a mission. Then, Queen Mary stepped onto the carpet. She wore a breathtaking floor-length gown, deep royal blue velvet, with a sharply modern silhouette. The neckline was elegant but bold. The sleeves, long and regal, and the jewelry, oh, the jewelry. She chose pieces with purpose, earrings from the Ruby Perur set and a brooch historically linked to Queen Ingrid. It was a style move that screamed continuity and legacy, but also a subtle nod to modern femininity. Fashion critics across Denmark instantly declared, this is Mary fully stepping into her queenhood. But the message went deeper. That brooch, it once belonged to one of Denmark's most beloved queens. The message was clear. Mary is ready to honor the past while leading the crown into a brave new era. The ceremony begins, a celebration of heart, talent, and Denmark's soul. Held at one of Copenhagen's grandest venues, the Royal Danish Playhouse, this year's ceremony brought together artists, cultural leaders, activists, and trailblazers from across the country. And as always, the awards were presented in 2 categories. The Culture Prize, recognizing extraordinary artistic talent. The Social Prize, honoring significant contributions to humanitarian and societal betterment. But what made this year's edition so profoundly emotional was the unexpectedly heartfelt speech from King Frederik himself. The king speaks. This night belongs to the future of Denmark. Standing beneath the soaring ceiling lit in soft golds and reds, King Frederik addressed the audience. Tonight is not about us, he began, his voice steady. It's about those who build bridges in a time of noise. Those who hold up mirrors to our society and make us see each other, truly see each other. His words weren't rehearsed, stiff, or overly formal. They were alive, pulsing with sincerity. He ended with a quiet tribute to his wife. For 2 decades, Mary and I have watched Denmark grow, shine, and inspire. And as king and queen, we remain committed, perhaps more than ever, to honoring those who shape its soul. The crowd erupted in applause. Even seasoned journalists admitted, this wasn't just another royal event. This was a transformation. The crown was glowing, and not just from the lights. A royal dance with Denmark's future. Throughout the evening, Queen Mary moved gracefully through the room, speaking with artists, embracing social workers, and pausing for selfies with young award recipients. She didn't act like royalty was a shield. Instead, she wielded it like a bridge. She made everyone feel seen, one recipient later told Danish TV. Not judged, not intimidated, but celebrated. And that, many commentators observed, is Mary's true magic. Back on the streets, across social media, and in coffee shops across Aarhus, Odense, and Aalborg, Danes weren't just commenting on fashion or protocol. They were saying something louder. The monarchy feels alive again. I didn't think it mattered anymore. But tonight made me proud. If this is what King Frederik and Queen Mary stand for, we're in good hands. 3 moments from the night went viral. A candid shot of King Frederik whispering to Queen Mary just before the ceremony started. She laughed. The internet swooned. Still in love after all these years, one ex-user posted. A young girl presenting flowers to Mary, only to burst into tears. Mary knelt down, wiped her tears, and gave her a warm hug. Danish TV replayed it 37 times in one night. The final bow, as King Frederik and Queen Mary stood arm in arm with the award winners, taking a collective bow before the crowd. No separation, no pedestal, just unity. King Frederik and Queen Mary stunned Copenhagen at Royal Awards. Inside the glamour, power and hidden messages at Kronprinsparrets Priser. Behind the velvet curtains of Copenhagen's Royal Danish Playhouse, something rare unfolded, not a theatrical scene, but a human one. As the applause roared and cameras flashed outside, Denmark's queen stood calm, collected, but radiant. No longer just Princess Mary from Tasmania, no longer just consort to a prince. This was Queen Mary, the woman now at the heart of a modern monarchy. And what she said in private, just off the main stage, reveals more than any speech. We'll get to that whisper. But first, let's explore the ripple effect of this royal appearance, because what happened inside the playhouse didn't stay there. It raced across Denmark, into living rooms, newspapers, royal blogs, and social media. And globally, the spotlight shifted, subtly, but unmistakably, from Buckingham Palace to Copenhagen. Det kun begyndelsen, this is only the beginning. A Danish reporter from BT caught a rare moment backstage. Mary, wiping a tiny smudge from her dress, leaned toward a young award recipient who nervously asked, "How do you do it all?" Mary smiled gently and said in Danish, Det kun begyndelsen. This is only the beginning. Not just for that young recipient, but, according to analysts, for her reign. Later, when asked what she meant, Queen Mary responded with characteristic diplomacy. We've stepped into a new chapter, not just for Frederik and me, but for the role of the monarchy in modern Denmark. This awards night reminds us that inspiration isn't inherited, it's earned. That quote, immediately headlined in Politiken, DR Nyheder, and Danish Vogue. International royal watchers took notice for years. Denmark's royal family has walked a delicate balance, honoring centuries-old traditions while evolving with a country that prizes equality, minimalism, and social justice. Queen Margrethe II embodied that paradox, reigning with dignity and artful independence. But now, with King Frederik and Queen Mary, a new paradox has emerged. How do you remain symbolic and real? How do you represent all Danes, young and old, rural and urban, royalist and republican? At the Kronprinsparrets Priser, that question played out on stage. Frederik and Mary didn't stand above the recipients, they stood beside them. There were no velvet thrones. No stiff lines of protocol. The couple listened, nodded, applauded. It didn't feel like monarchy on display. It felt like monarchy in dialogue. According to DR1, more than 1.2 million Danes tuned in live to watch the ceremony, the highest viewership since 2018. Royal analyst Lena Balby explained why. People weren't just watching a show. They were witnessing a royal couple testing the waters of their new role, with humility and precision. And the numbers weren't limited to Denmark. In Australia, Queen Mary's homeland, SBS News led its European segment with the story. In the UK, royal biographer Robert Hardman described the appearance as a quiet masterclass in modern monarchy. In Spain, media drew comparisons to Queen Letitia's strong social engagements, calling Mary her Nordic twin. Several moments were never caught on official camera, but a handful of journalists witnessed them. Frederik adjusting Mary's dress train just before she walked onto stage. A simple, human gesture that melted the hearts of even the toughest photographers. Mary removing her heels backstage, rubbing her feet with a laugh. She told a crew member, "It's always the shoes that betray you in the end." A quiet embrace between the royal couple during a long ovation. No words, just presence. These unspoken gestures, gold for Denmark's monarchy, because they remind the public that behind the crown are people. Behind the tradition is tenderness. From her retreat at Fredensborg Palace, Queen Margrethe issued a rare post-ceremony statement. "It fills me with joy to see the path Frederik and Mary have chosen. They have grown into it with grace, and the people's response tells me Denmark remains strong in their hands." It was a soft endorsement, but for royal insiders, it was everything. Because Margrethe, known for her independence and artistic intellect, has always walked a unique line: loving mother, seasoned sovereign, and silent observer. This was her way of saying, "They're ready. And I'm proud." Across royal forums, Facebook pages, and YouTube comment sections, the reaction was loud, passionate, and telling. Mary is no longer just the stylish princess. She's evolved into a true queen. This was a powerful way to say, "We're listening," without saying it too loudly. Can someone please tell Buckingham Palace how it's done? From Toronto to Tokyo, Denmark was trending. Instagram fashion blogs featured Queen Mary's gown under #RoyalStyle, while X lit up with gifs of King Frederik holding his wife's hand mid-speech. And the biggest compliment: has Denmark just crowned the most modern queen in Europe? Make no mistake, in a time when monarchies around the world are facing scrutiny, whether for lavish spending, outdated protocols, or political controversy, Denmark is playing it differently. No scandals, no reality show deals, no Netflix dramas or explosive memoirs. Instead, King Frederik and Queen Mary are building what some call the silent monarchy, low on drama, high on dignity. They're showing that relevance doesn't require reinvention, it requires reconnection. And that's what the Kronprinsparrets Priser delivered in spades. With their first major public appearance as monarchs officially completed, what lies ahead for King Frederik and Queen Mary? Sources at the Danish royal court say, a nationwide tour of Denmark's most rural regions is being planned for autumn. More direct royal involvement in youth mental health programs, one of Queen Mary's lifelong passions. And a major diplomatic visit to Australia in early 2026, Mary's first as queen. But beyond logistics, one thing is clear. This royal couple isn't coasting on heritage. They're building something, and it has roots. As the curtain fell, cameras caught a single frame, one destined for the history books. Queen Mary looked up at King Frederik. He smiled, touched her hand, and whispered something only she could hear. We may never know the words, but we felt them. Thanks for watching.